Hey everybody, welcome back to another Stone-Faced Reactions. I'm Theta, and we're here with another episode of RahXephon. First off the bat, once again, thank you to Yuki Ali for sponsoring this episode. Wouldn't be able to do these things without people like you. Otherwise, what to get into here? I think first off, let's lower this down a bit and look at the board. Now, a couple of corrections I made since last time. Uh, Unfortunately, nobody has weighed in on my impromptu board making to let me know if I was right or wrong about the the things that I put together off the top of my head. Of course, I'm not gonna cheat. No spoilers involved. The things I don't remember from the original time that I watched, I am not going to apply here. So either you remind me or you don't. First thing that I did though, when I went back to look at this, was instantly regret putting dark blue text as their names for every character. That was obviously a hard read on this black background. Additionally, not a big fan of the small text either. Otherwise, there were a couple of corrections I made, or I guess fixes that I made before. Oh, that's weird. You're not seeing this, but I'm just going to indicate it to you, just reacting to this own thing here. This line here on the screen that I watch this on is white for some reason. This is a white line. Over here, I'm looking at my OBS window and it's green, and it is supposed to be a green line. For some reason, the monitor shows as white. But yeah, that's one of the things. I forgot to include our boy here as part of the Beam? Bobbeam? Correct me all you want. The organization. He's part of the organization. And I didn't directly attach these three characters either to it. So, did my little overarching, these three are part of a group, and then attached him down to it. Otherwise, I think the only other thing was Kim. Sorry, no, Kim. I apologize. Again, I'm watching this once a month now. I need the board to remind me. Also, I'm taking it a lot more seriously than I did when I was watching with Griff. So, Kim here is with Soukyuu. We saw that. That was a big part of last episode. Well, not a big part. It was a relatively emotionally important part of last episode. Specifically because Megumi down here was about to celebrate and, ask Soukyuu out, and then discovered happenstance. I guess it's a small town situation. Although it doesn't. It's like a whole fucking city. Anyway. Anyway. The point is, she had an infatuation with Soukyuu, finds out Soukyuu is in a relationship with Kim. Obviously, that doesn't go anywhere. However, I don't know if it's at the point to say that she doesn't have feelings still. Obviously, she's still broken up about it, so I'm just leaving the purple arrows. If you haven't seen any of the other reactions on the channel before now, wow. No, I'm joking. I just mean that none of this is going to make sense, and I am amazed by your ability to stick around for RahXephon when it's this guy reacting to it. Anyway, the purple arrows represent relationships. Typically, I think we have. Ah, this is one of those that I didn't do the whole description of terms. Green, allies. Do we have one? Blue, relationship. Not blue is related, rather, or married. White is an unknown relationship. Like, they could be frenemies. That could be a white line. And we don't have any reds here at the moment, but red would be enemies or effectively somebody who killed somebody else, right? If somebody had like a cross over them to indicate that they were dead, the red line would also indicate that that person killed that person. So you might have a friend who killed you, you know? Just indicate that. Otherwise, last episode, what did we get to last episode? Last episode we did the whole Megumi graduating thing. We had the whole. Sorry, I am not great on the moment. Ayatu wanting to go back to Tokyo Jupiter and basically throwing a little bit of a fit with everybody that he was talking to about it. Like, he comes off as that I expect you all to get thrown by what I'm gonna say to you, and everyone's like, hey, you paint, right? That's creative. That's creative, like just like music is. He's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Um, Otherwise, Quan wanted to go with him, and I believe that's just where we left off last time. I think those were the two main points. I do believe the episode did start with Itsuki also, um, like in cahoots with the organization. Well, he's part of the organization, but doing something. I can't remember exactly what he was up to in regards to the organization. So yeah, I think those are the main points to keep in mind. Even though I don't feel like it's gonna matter much anymore, I feel like what I've done here is I've jumped back into the show where I was only keeping in mind 50% of the show and letting my other co-host, uh, who was new to everything, try to keep everything else on board, and then I was coasting off of him. Well, I feel like I've jumped back in, now trying to take in 100%, and I've done that on an episode where I think everything is about to change, so that 100% I'm trying to take in might not matter. And everything from here on out is going to be, well, not completely different, but from a completely different perspective. So, if that is the case, we'll take it from there. But otherwise, I think we should go ahead and get into it, because you've been listening to me ramble for 7 minutes now, and God help you if you're not one of those people who just jumped right to the reaction, because I don't know what to do about it. I apologize. This has been a horrible opening. I will say, I never get tired of the opening song here. I don't know what it is. I wouldn't include it in like my top 10 openings, even just based on music alone, right? Because it's not great, but I feel like either I'm just nostalgic for it, or it's just significantly different from everything else I've heard in an anime opening, as to make it stand apart. Like, there are a number of anime openings that I like, not because I think that they're better than other anime openings, but because they're so noteworthy for not sounding like anything else I've ever heard, as to want to include them in a list. I guess because in list making, right, if you don't include the stuff that's different, then one, your list is going to be entirely all same-ish, but at the same time, you want to express to others the things that you'd like to share to them that they might not have ever heard themselves. So you make a list that's more eclectic than otherwise. I mean, why wouldn't you be able to take it back? You escaped from Tokyo Jupiter once. You can do it again.
現在作戦部は B3 体制に移行。首都対至急指令センターに戻ってください。了解。はるかさん、綾人くんのこと。大丈夫よ。じゃあ。大丈夫よ。
B3 体制に移行したとなると、テラはバーミリオンを迎撃に向かわせるだろうね。
Yeah, last episode, Suichi was literally practicing this exact Sorry, not Suichi. Megumi. Megumi was literally practicing this exact scenario for her promotion.
現時点であれを抑えられるのはバーミリオンだけです。
同胞を撃つためのバーミリオンではない。
同胞あなたはすでに状況を把握する能力もないようだ。ムーリアン・カミナ・アヤトは第一級反逆罪で裁
It's
かれ
also the fact that we've seen the RahXephon can take out the Vermilion. If it's the same thing I'm thinking about. Yeah, the thing that she piloted last time.
速やかにバーミリオンで出撃。ラーゼフォンとキサラギクオンを必ず奪還せよ。
なんであなたが命令を？
聞こえなかったかな。
アルファ小隊了解。ミッション遂行します。
なお目標が抵抗した場合、パイロットの生死は問わない。以上だ。
Well, I guess it's a chain of command issue, right? Because you're a civilian. You can't order the military to do anything.
私にはこういう状況下での特権が認められていますので、あしからず。そうそう。私としたことが先ほどは言葉を誤ってしまいました。カミナ・アヤト、もし奴がおとなしく投降しようが、我々は軍人として扱うことも民間人として法廷で裁くこともする必要はない。人間じゃないんだから。そんな。しかしあなたは立派な。
It always comes down to shows like this where you're dealing with aliens or robots that are intelligent. Some human always wants to say they have no humanity, whatever.
彼を連れ戻しに行くの。
ラーゼフォンを確保した後、アヤとカミナは拘束され、第一級反逆罪で裁かれる。
あなたに頼みがあるの。
And that's what he meant before. No going back because of this, and I didn't even think about this. I thought he meant physically able to come back. I did talk about this before, though, that LV would not appreciate this at all, considering their old hangar conversation from before, right?
私のは違うの。
ディオン・アリア。これは誘ってるのか、僕たちを。
招いてる。
アルファ V1 より CC。現在速度1200で目標を追尾。20秒後に
I
接
guess
触の予定。
indicating, of course, that the RahXephon is meandering and not moving at full speed.
無賃乗車のくせに文句が多いわよ。
ごめんなさい。
謹慎は確実だね。
エルフィ。
何？
ありがとう。
話は後だ。
I appreciate that she's taking the time to think about the scenario and isn't heading in as angry as she was back in the hangar. She's certainly mellowed out since that episode, it feels like.
このドーレム。
奴はあの時の。
Is that the one from Australia?
エルフィーさん。
I know we've seen it before, but it's been forever. It's the one that fires out the laser from its mouth, right?
即時基地へ帰投しなさい。警告ではない。これは最後通告です。
最後通告。最後通告って、じゃ従わなければどうなるんですか？
攻撃する。
あれは嫌い。
帰るんだ、カミナ。
I mean, how hard could you be charged? You literally told
はるかさん。
a bunch of people you were going to do this.
お前何を？
今戻ったらあなたは。
やめるんだ、はるか。
And two of your high command people literally talked about it, so they knew too.
俺本当のことが知りたい。知りたいんだ。それだけのことなんだ。そう思うのがいけないことなの。
任務だ。従わなければ撃墜する。
どうしてそうなんだよ。
Yeah, the moment I saw the destructive disc, I knew I was wrong. It's not from the mouth, it's from there.
そうなのかそうなのか神の
何なんだよ。俺どうすればいいんだよ。
あれはオリンの音色を歪ませる。行こうオリン。
でもこのままじゃはるかさんたちが。
あれは大丈夫だから行こう。
I would rather that he turns around and helps them and then runs towards Tokyo Jupiter than him just abandoning them.
それが答えか神の
隼人君。
貴様
帰るんだ僕は。
Because what ability does the Vermilion have to take out a Dolan? I recall it does have a big weapon on it, but it's not what she's using right now, so I don't know if it's able to do that.
量子回路が形成されている
By the way, I've never said it before. I think I heavily implied it this whole time. Haruka is my favorite character.
エルフィしっかり
Shitao, if you...
エルフィ
So of course I didn't want to get left behind or hurt or anything like that.
逃がしたか
追いましょう。
追うそうか
バーミリオンには絶対障壁を突破する機能がある。
普段着のやつがいるのに TDD ユニットを使えるわけないでしょ
素人扱いしないでくれる？
かなりきついよ
覚悟の上よ。
I will admit, this is not anything that I
バーミリ
remember.
オンからテラコントロールピアサーシークエンス起動オールコンタクトブラックアウト
トランスディメンショナルドライブを使うのか。
勝手なこと。
確か命令は如月クオンとラーゼフォンを必ず奪還せよでしたな。現場の判断に委ねよ。
テラコントロール了解。幸運を祈ります。
ピアサーシークエンスフェーズ1起動
Like, I'd probably put LV as
ピアサーフィールドリゾナンスコンタクト
maybe my second favorite, based on memory. That's only because I appreciate that LV is no nonsense, and I can completely understand where she's coming from emotionally.
確率共鳴境界突破フィールドジェネレーター出力最大
I guess not to be that guy, she's also the hottest character in the show.
フリーコール開始
It's pretty cool though, it makes it like a mini Tokyo Jupiter to merge into Tokyo Jupiter with. Yeah, not exactly stealthing your way in though.
アヤトは？
いない見るか
見せて。東京。
Those things weren't there last
帰
time.
ってきたのね。私も。
Of all the crap that the jets were fighting in the air, that crap wasn't there. At least I don't remember it. Them many months. Now problem, are we in dream world? And this is interpretation? Nope, never mind, that seems to be real. If it was a dream world, there would be no text.
神名綾人くん勝手に出歩かないでください。
僕と一緒にいた。
ああ。
Do you think we've just dropped subtext? Or were those things always there and we couldn't see them before?
Kuon氏、安静が必要です。
僕たちは
覚えてないの？もうすぐ院長先生の回診があります。質問にちゃんと答えてくださいね。
母に会いたいんですけど。
院長先生の回診があります。お部屋に戻ってください。
Not treating them special. I almost half expected them to go and try to pretend like he got into an accident when the train, right? And to pretend that none of this stuff in between has
これ
happened.
でも少しは身を隠したつもりなんだから。
ごめんなさい。
何やってるの？
別に
行く先に心当たりは？
あるわ。
A bunch of clothes hanging off a rack down there, right?
私の町ですもの。
ここに来た時の記憶がないと。
その時のだけです。僕はここに自分の意思で来たんですから。
自分の意思ね。ではその目的は何だね。
本当のことを知るために。
本当の何を？
僕自身のこと。僕の母のこと。
神名マヤさんですか？
母に会わせてください。
そこにいるじゃない。
え？三島。
ゼフォンは静止状態です。
Are we in?
石化の兆候も見られません。
Is he just getting like far vision now, or is he teleporting around?
どうしました？
同乗してきたクオンの状態がよくありません。長時間ライフモジュールを着用していなかったため。
原因など分かっています。対策とその効果についてのみ報告なさい。
は。母さん。
Okay, I got it. Since RahXephon is there, RahXephon is showing him what RahXephon itself can see. Got it.
これが真実だっていうのか。やっぱりそうなのか。
Also, the way he's talking, wouldn't that be really weird for everybody here who doesn't know about the whole Moo thing, right? Because he can't just say, hey, here's the truth to everybody.
以前より精神支配が強まっている。
子供の頃、日本という国に行ってみたいと思ってた。日本の首都がこうなっちゃったって知った時、私は心の奥で喜んでいたのかもしれない。だけど、この平和な空気は何？ここは本当にジュピターの中？
Just thank God that guy's asleep. I get, maybe that's the meta message that they're all asleep, right?
一つ聞いていい？
何？
なんでそんなにカミナにこだわる？
大事な人だから。
Yeah, she was in love with him as a child, and then she got separated outside of Tokyo Jupiter and aged faster than he did. I don't know if I said that before, but I know. It's the part I know. That's why she's my favorite character. Because her story is weird, involved, and the most interesting of them all. Also, because I think it's a very human story in an extraordinary circumstance.
声を聞いてどうするの？
そっか。
ナイム、メマ、ネクパ。
エスパー、マサ。
後でまた来るわ。
I do appreciate them explaining away her weird-ass outfit, Kwan's, I mean, by a whole life support system.
母さん止めて。
なんか変わったね、カミナ君。
そうかな。
そんな変わるかよ。たった1ヶ月で。
1ヶ月？半年なんだよ、外では。
See? That's what I mean by the
先生も
other.
何も言わないし、私たち噂してたんだ。カミナ君、あそこに行ったって。
あそこって？
みんな綾人君がいなくなったって全然気にしてないし、何か変だって。
I guess what's also interesting is the last time we saw these two
もう一度カミナ君に会いたかった。
was in this weird dream
聞い
state.
てみたかった。でも私、あなたに何を聞いたらいいのかもわかんない。そんなのってある？
いい加減にしろよ。お前変なことばっか気にしすぎなんだって。綾人だってただ家の用事で旅行行ってただけなんだろ？
ああ、そうだ。三島がいなくなったことは学校でなんて言ってる？
三島？
玲香。三島玲香。
誰だよそれ。
いい、気にしないで。
Ba-da-da.
三島。ほら、私何か大事なこと忘れてる。その名前。
Stuff I wish I could still
何か聞い
press
たこと
Griff
がある
about.
気がするもの。
ひろこ、いい加減にしろ。
I think it goes to also show that parts of his vision from before, when he was imagining everybody in Tokyo Jupiter, parts of that seem to be real as well, not just his interpretation of things.
あなたは誰なの？僕の母さんなら。
Blue blood. I honestly have no idea how to read on that, because obviously, oh, I didn't think we were this close to the end. Obviously, she put like a droplet of blood, and his blood came out blue, when before it obviously was coming out red on its own. I don't know, is the implication that he's half? Like he's half human, half Moo? If that was a thing from before, I've obviously just plumb forgotten it, but even then, though, your blood should be whatever color your blood is. You should just be, like, deciding. Unless she's obviously having some sort of influence over his physical being. which would I guess then be why she kind of goes super staticky when he's looking at her, and then he freaks out. I don't know. I remember that this show had a lot of deep, like, philosophical considerations, but also just a lot of on the surface confusing thoughts to try and pull in, and that's where I'm having difficulty. Obviously, also because I'm in between memory of what I remember from before, and by remember before I mean 20 years ago, and then now the memory of what I previously experienced with Griff more recently, and then this new information here.
迷いの町、祖は我がふるさと、母なる人の階段に抱かれ。次回第18楽章、青き血の絆、世は音に満ちて。
Wow. Those two are not doing good at all. Ayato and oh god, what is her name? I keep forgetting the childhood friend. Hiroko. Hiroko is not doing well at all. But I feel like it's more of a result of her world kind of being shattered. I guess as an element of those things on the sky, right? Those things are obviously doing something psychologically to everybody to not make them be able to see them, while at the same time pacifying them. If you're familiar with the concept of remote mind-altering transmissions, I believe that's typically played off as it's like a government conspiracy thing. I'm not advocating for it, but I do know that there has been some scientific testing, I want to say, done in the field of, so it's not like I'm saying that the government's doing it, but I'm saying that it could, if it wanted to. Sorry, I'm just realizing that I'm pushing out an idea that makes me sound like a conspiracy theorist when I don't want to be. Just look at the scientific data. Don't look at the conspiracy data. The idea is that low wave or low frequency microwave transmissions can be aimed at like a crowd or something, and depending on the frequency or the energy level of the transmission, can induce anger or apathy in the crowd. It just basically affects your brain chemistry in such a way. It's one of the things that I believe that they were testing at one point to try to pacify crowds in like riot situations, things like that. But this is like turn of the century science stuff, not like current day. I have no idea past like the year 2000s what they were doing with that. But anyway, apply that same sort of mentality to the Dolem stuff, right? And you could get like a whole population of just non-curious, apathetic, happy with their situation people. I guess the difference here is that these people also seem to be enjoying their lives and everything like that in a way that does not kind of befit that that mental state that I would think that they would be in. Otherwise, I guess if you look at Tokyo under Mu control, kind of has a lot of that same feel as another requested show that we just recently watched, Kino's Journey, episode 4, Land of Adults, where they get a surgery at, what was it, age 12, I think it was, to become adults, just to make them happy with the things that they might otherwise not be happy with. I don't know, I'm spending a lot of time delving into what it must be like living in Mu control versus we have LV and Shitao now in the area again for the second time in the series, but this time to retrieve our main character. And I believe they've given us a lot of hints now that Shitao is a character from Ayato's past. And obviously, I've known this the entire time because it's like my main focus. And I know the story has a lot of other like philosophical focuses, but it's always been my main focus is this romance story broken across time by this alien invasion. So obviously, this is like another major hint. All the other ones are like obviously like the gloves thing before are that we know each other, but I think this is the first hint of like I'm from the same area he's from. I don't know. Obviously, I'm trying to attach things that I already know to help people who might be watching this the first time with me. I don't know. I don't know. I feel a bit off today. I don't know. I didn't say that before, but I think I've shown that through the interactions that I've been giving her. So if I just seem weirder than normal in this one recording, I apologize. But yeah, I'm just trying to push the bigger clues that I'm seeing here towards the narrative that I'm trying to focus on primarily. Otherwise, I think we're just going to go ahead and get into the note-taking section of these things so that I can more formally write out my thoughts instead of doing another 7-minute ramble, which I think I've just hit the number on. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into the notes.
それでも言いたいこの僕に何ができるって言うんだ窮屈な箱庭の現実を変えるために何ができるの人生の半分も僕はまだ生きてない逆らって立ち会って無意識に刻まれてゆく経験のタトゥー崖っぷちに立たされた時不難な僕の腕をつかみ自分自身のありかが初めて見えたんだもっと広いフィールドへもっと深い大きなどこかへ予測もつかない世界へ向かってゆくだけ 僕は僕のことが知りたい
Alright, we're back from the note taking. I think I collected a bit more than I did last time. And I think maybe my thoughts are actually more with me now than when I was watching the show originally. So, apologies for that. First thing I've got here, though. So, Ayato questions whether they are human or not, and Quan says that they are human. We know the thing Ayato keeps struggling with is the fact that he bleeds red, but at the end of the episode, he goes from red to blue. We saw the static of his mother. Was that just the Dolam mind control thing taking effect over him? Thinking back to Itsuki's conversation about the blue trees way back when, I think episode 2 or 3, does that imply that Quan's blood is blue? Because remember, she says we are human, not you are human. Are they just half Mu and half human? Again, these are things I have no memory of from my watch 20 years back, as I was 100% more concerned about the relationships more than anything else. Let's see. I really enjoy the way the show sets up things in advance that seem minor or not connected in the first moments of them being shown. Like Megumi's testing for promotion features the B3 status as something that could happen. It seems almost like a routine test procedure, and then we get that it's called up so we can remember from before what's supposed to happen here. I think there's more examples of this, but I'm going to have to account for them as they come along. I know the show's been doing it all this time, so this recent example of it is just something that I wanted to bring up to show that I appreciated it. Let's see. Ayato asks if the RahXephon belongs to Quan, or sorry, if the Zephon belongs to Quan, and she responds that hers is different. We saw before what hers was like in that strange time tunnel place that people keep going missing in, where she had to be pulled back from. I just wanted to bring it up now that I also have no memory of what Quan's story is. I remember her from the start of the show, from way back when, but I have no clue about her getting in a dolem or anything. Just to be entirely transparent, I'm pretty sure that she's fine right up to the end of the show, but even that isn't 100% sure in my memory. She could be the same way as Mishima in my memory, that she's just somebody that appears, but I'm pretty sure. I recall seeing her at the end of the show. I guess the Vermilion is a completely acceptable Zephon replacement. Quan seems to hate it, but indicates that it will be fine against the Dolem. I have no reason to think that the Dolem would just hold back, even against Ayato's friends, so I guess the implication is that it can hold its own against at least the Dolem we are being shown. And even though it did get its ass kicked by that very same Dolem, so I don't know. Maybe that thought wasn't fully thought out before I wrote it down. Mishima, aka the Zephon, must be not physically, psychically linked with Ayato, which is how it was able to show him what was going on right in front of it, in a place where Ayato wasn't. I know I expressed this in the episode itself, but I just wanted to say it again and have it down in my written record to be able to remember it better. So sometimes these thoughts aren't just to imply to you what I know. Sometimes these are just things for me to come back to later. I don't know if it's ever become evident, but when I am in the shows that I am doing solo or have done solo in the past, if I have a thought in the present, and I think it regards something that I've already seen before, what I will do is I will search my own notepad of notes to try and figure out my past elements. I'm not working on this. This might be a rotten tuna fish. I mean, fish rots from the head, as they say. In hindsight, LV and crew were incredibly lucky the first time they broke into Tokyo Jupiter. Her entire crew got shot down by just the human interference last time, but none of them crashed into the mass of floating invisible objects that none of them even knew about. It's funny to take that in hindsight that if these things were always here, how did those jets not crash into a single one of them? I think another correction I need to make on the board is the Tokyo Jupiter love triangle. If I'm not mistaken, I think Hiroko has a thing for Ayato, but that Mamoru has a thing for Hiroko, thus leading to the strange way that Mamoru acts when Ayato sees them again. It comes off as overprotective, I think, because he knows how Hiroko feels, and being that Ayato has been gone for a month in their time, he felt like he could finally achieve what he wanted. At the same time, Hiroko having a thing for Ayato makes her more receptive to the things he's saying, and possibly messing with the Dolem control over here, where Mamoru is pushing back against it for the sake of his hope for his own relationship. So, I think it seems pretty obvious on the face of it what's going on. That Mamoru is obviously snap out of it because he's the one under mind control, but he wants to stay in the mind control in order to keep his goal, whereas Ayato seems to be just distant from the whole thing. I don't know. I don't actually know how he would feel or how he does feel about Hiroko, but he very much in the moment seems distant. It's not what he's focused on, is the point. Obviously, I have thoughts later about that, but we all know I was really hoping to have Griff see that moment, and now it makes no sense to even try to show him that. Uh, just a final note, though, here. People in anime are so willing to bite their thumbs to draw blood. I have to think, like Hayato, that biting his lip was the far easier way to go than even the whole cutting his thumb thing. I don't know about you, but I got pretty thick skin on my thumb. I'd be ripping pretty hard to get anything out of this. Like, it wouldn't be just like a, it wouldn't be like a pinpoint between that. That'd be like the same thing that the blood sugar tests do. I can't get anything out of my thumb with those things. I would be, I would be, I wouldn't be able to grip anything for the rest of the day. I would be fucked up if I got enough. I just wanted to mention that because it instantly made me think like Naruto or anything. Every time they need to do a blood seal, and then he's, bouncing off the walls like he doesn't have. I don't know. I guess thinking about the Chunin exams too. He does dig through the earth and rip his fingernails out, and he has no problem there. I don't know. Anyway, these have been my final thoughts here on RahXephon. Once again, I'll even bring this back up here. Let me minimize this. I am zoomed in so far that this was not even a point. This is pointless. There we go. Zoom out. Show you the board. If you see anything wrong with the board, not the thing I just mentioned about the triangle thing, obviously, do let me know. If I missed anything in the episode, also let me know. Otherwise, this has been me. This has been Theta, once again. Stone-Faced Reactions, watching RahXephon, and I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stone-Faced Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe and let us know what you thought about this video and what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?